Look what I got. I got my Jack the Ripper, Jack the Ripper. I got the Jack the Ripper. That was the Mystery Experience Company's mystery this month. It was Jack the Ripper. And here, I'm going to move this back just a little bit. Sorry, y'all went for a little ride. Let me tell y'all. Okay. Disclaimer before I even begin. I am not sponsored, number one. Number two, I will probably give away hints, solutions, etc. in this review. So let me just do a little quick review over the box, and then I will go into more detail. For those that don't want hints and don't want to know exactly what is in the box, you will not get, you know, you won't get spoilers. The box itself, Jack the Ripper, hello. I mean, like the most notorious murderer ever, right? So the premise is he's come to Forest City, which is the city that this box is originated from. All these things happen in Forest City. And he's killed 3 other people, attacked another girl. So it's kind of like on the same lines as what he did in London, right? Or in England. But he left England and came over here and then started up again. So our mission is to find out who he is, and we have 9 suspects again. I will say that this box, I was a little disappointed in it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, even though I love these boxes. I love them. I'm not going to stop my subscription because I do love them. But I feel like the last couple of boxes have been a little light on like puzzles and stuff like that. And I really truly believe it's because they had this Kickstarter thing come out, and I wish I could have afforded to participate in it. But you got a suitcase, and it was about the Bedlam Asylum, and there was mysteries in there, and you were actually in the mystery. It was personalized and all this kind of stuff. And I really believe that they have been working on that for the last few months, giving a lot of their time and attention to those things. Than the subscribed box. That's just my opinion. That's just what I think has happened. Because like I said, the last few boxes really have been a little bit light to me. You know, it's just been fine. It's just been deductive reasoning pretty much. Just find the killer. You get suspects and then you just deduce who you think it is. And those are not quite as challenging as like the other ones that we've done. But again, I'm okay with it because I understand why they had to do that. I mean, they had all these boxes, suitcases actually, with antiques and stuff that they had to get out, and they had to personalize the mystery. And so I totally get it. I'm not jelly, because if I could have afforded it, I would have participated in that. So, you know, I'm halfway okay with it. I just wish, like, this box was really light, y'all, really light. There were only 2 puzzles to do in this box. And that kind of disappointed me because it's like, really? Just 2 puzzles? And because at least the other boxes have, you know, like the first couple of boxes I got had like 4 or 5 puzzles to do, you know? And to go down to just 2 puzzles, it was, you know, that was a little sucky for me. But, you know, like I said, I can kind of understand why they did it. So, I don't know, I just might be biased because I really love these boxes and I don't want to, you know, be all mad and not do them anymore. So, I don't know. If the next couple of boxes are the same way, I'm not going to lie, I probably will stop my subscription because then it's not worth it to me. I mean, it's still a cool concept, you know, and they're still working on it, but, you know, you got to give us more than just 2 puzzles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. The whole thing is to solve a mystery by getting clues and stuff like that. And when you only give us, not even, you know, it was just 2 clues, really. I mean, and one of the clues I didn't even need. Do you know what I'm saying? So really, in the end, it was only really 1 clue that I really needed. So, I don't know. That's just the review on it. It's still a cool thing, though. Still Jack the Ripper. You know, I was so excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, Jack the Ripper. And I really feel that they could have done a way better job with it. But like I said, And I think they may have done a Jack the Ripper before. If they've not, I don't know. But I don't know. It was just, yeah. But I still enjoyed the box. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed it. But it only took me like an hour to do. Instead of, you know, 2.5 like normal. So, but anyway, okay, so now let's get into the box and let's dive into it, shall we? All right, so when I first opened the box, this is what I saw. Oh, y'all can't see with the glare. It is a choker. So it is a gorgeous choker, actually. Whoopsie. Amanda will probably love this. Isn't that pretty? It's gorgeous. So I got a choker. I got a bracelet that I actually wore yesterday. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I mean, it has a little key with little symbols, and then this is like a St. Christopher, I think. Maybe. So there's that, and then I don't have here, but there was a red handkerchief. And all of these things were found on the victims, and that's why we got them. And then we got pictures. Here, let me just get all this stuff out of this box. You would think I would do this before I started. I mean, there's a lot of paper, and I got excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of paper in here today. Yay, we're going to have lots and lots of good Lord. Sorry, y'all. Sorry about all that noise. Goodness gracious. Stuck to the bottom of the thing. But I was like, oh my gosh, there's lots and lots of paper, so we obviously are going to get lots of puzzles, and then we only get 2. And I was like, well, that's very disappointing. Alright, so then you get, I'm pretty sure there are 3 of these. Yes, 4. It's actually 4. Okay, so then you get pictures of, here, let's do it this way. You get pictures of the 4 victims. And there's nothing on the back. They're just 4 pictures, which I'm like, ooh. Now that I'm into this mixed media, right? I'm like, I could probably use those one time. You get a list, a journal, so to speak, a diary of suspects. And there are 9 of them again in here. So there's 9 suspects that you read about. You get a postcard. And I'm thinking again with my mixed media, I'm like, ooh-wee. So you get a pretty postcard, and then you get like this invite to London for Lewis Carroll. And yes, Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in the Looking Glass, was a suspect. I'm like, really? Okay, he's a little wacko, but a murderer? Really? Really? Then you get I want to make sure, yes, you get 3 interviews. You get one from the victim, and that had a backside, and I didn't realize that until I looked on more, you know, I flipped it over, and I was like, oh, okay, so you get one from the victim, you get one from, he was a shop owner, and then you get one from a police officer. So you get those, and then you get the homicide reports for the 3 ladies who were murdered. And you get a what's it called? An autopsy report on one of the victims. Then you get a logbook from a fleet cargo ship. And then you get a fare and record and receipts from a taxi. And then you get a letter actually from Jack the Ripper. And as always, they give you a map to the city at the time and where the victims were found, just to give you a point of reference, you know, to get you into the mood of where things were. And then you get the 2 puzzles. You get this puzzle, and then you get this puzzle. Okay, so those are the 2 puzzles. And that was it of the puzzles. And I was like, really? And then you get the letter explaining what you're to do in the box this month. And it was to know who Jack the Ripper was. And then you get a newspaper from 1892. Okay? So the first thing I did, like always, is I read the newspaper front to back. So it talks about the murders that happen here and how they correlate with London and all that kind of stuff. And then I went ahead and I read about the suspects. And I have a little notebook and I wrote down all the suspects' name and gave like what I felt were going to be some of the major clues of the suspects, right? And then I read the interviews, and then I read the autopsy report, I read the shipping manifest, I read the fare receipts, I read the death or the autopsy, I said that already, and I read the victims' reports. So I did all my reading, and then I was like, okay, so I had already written down people, and so from that alone, I got to dismiss probably, was it 5 of them? I think it was 5 of them that I dismissed from just reading all of that information. Might have been 6. No, I think I had 4. Okay, so then I was like, okay, well, it's puzzle time because now I don't know, right? So I go to this puzzle and I'm like, what in the hell is this? Never even. And I'm like, okay, well, this is like that, you know, I forget what you call it, but I'm like, okay, Caesar box 8. Caesar box 8. Like, that makes no sense. So with this, yes, indeedy, I had to go to the hints file on the Facebook page. Because I even went to the Chris Curiosities page on Facebook, thinking maybe there would be something there, but there wasn't. So this was another decipher, and it's called a Caesar box. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of that. So I had to Google that. I Googled it, and I tried to write it out by hand and all this. And I was like, okay, I cannot get this. This is really difficult. And it was really starting to frustrate me. And so I went back onto the Facebook page, and somebody had, there's a place that you could go online that you could put the information in, and it deciphers it for you. And I'm like, I'm doing that. That's exactly what I'm doing. So they're like, even though it's sort of cheating, and I'm like, why is that cheating? You found out where you could put it, and you can put it in, so why is it cheating? I don't know, but anyway, I'm doing it. So you put it in, but this is the thing. This one, I'm going to have to put you on pause because I'm getting a delivery and the dogs will go crazy. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so, yeah. So, I went to the website and I put all this gibberish in there. And this was the one I didn't even really need the clue. And the clue was, spoiler, clue was, make a timeline to deduce who did it. Really? That's a given. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Hello. So this was like a worthless thing, and I was so frustrated because this I worked on for like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. And then you tell me that I already knew. Are you kidding me? I have already done that. So I was a little perturbed about that. Just a little. Just a little. Not gonna lie. A little perturbed. Okay. Because if you use all the information, if you use this, you're going to know Lewis Carroll was not, because he was in London at the time of one of the murders. This will tell you when another suspect was out of town at one of the murders. So, I mean, if you read everything, then you know that's how you get some of these people gone. Okay, so then the second thing, the second puzzle, down at the bottom, I noticed right away when I read this very first off, because this is the first thing I read, I noticed the coordinates. And I'm like, okay, those are coordinates. What do they go to? I don't know. So I even printed out like a little plane. Look, I'll show you. I printed out a little plane. and put the dots and try to, you know, see if that was it. That wasn't it. That made no sense. I was like, what? And then I saw this, and I was like, oh. But I noticed it after I went to the hints page, and I did read the hints on it, and I was like, okay, so I was close, because I had actually made a copy of this, and I thought you were to just scratch out the numbers and stuff like that, right? And I was like, so I knew this had to do something with it, but I don't know. I wasn't even thinking plain. I wasn't thinking anything like that. And then I will say this. There was one of, it was Sector 7 that we had something similar to this. And instead of, because normally when you do coordinates, right, it's like if it's 1, 2, or let's go 2, 1. You go over 2 and you go up 1, right? Normally that's what you do with coordinates. What they do is they go from the top and go down. And so without that hint, you could get it wrong. Because I did in the Sector 7. It kept coming up wrong because I was doing it thinking math way. You know, not the way they're doing it. So that's just a little hint for those, if we ever get this again, they go from over from the top and they go down. They don't do it the way math does it. But once you got it all done, then it hits a number, and it's a phone number. So you call the phone number, and then they give you a hint that I did need. So that took one suspect away, and then I think I was done after that. So maybe 3. I think I was down to 3 or 2. I can't remember. But anyway, so I ended up knowing who it was. I was right, who the killer was. So, with that said, I mean, that was pretty much the box this month. So, again, I'm not going to lie, little disappointed. It was a little light on the puzzles. Just 2 puzzles this time. And, I don't know, and again, I feel, oh, I'm sorry. I swear, 2 birds went flying by, and that's what they were barking at. I'm not kidding. These dogs, I swear, they drive me cuckoo every day. Okay, so anyway, yes, so it was a little light. I'm a little disappointed with that, but I really believe it was because they were working on their Kickstarter project. I mean, you know, I know some people will say, well, that shouldn't matter. They should still give 100% to their subscribers, blah, 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 blah. And I get that. I understand that. But I also, on a business end, I kind of get it too. I mean, you know, they only have so many people helping them do this, right? I mean, it's not like they're a huge company and they have like, you know, 100 workers. So, and they have just one person, as far as I know, that actually creates these mysteries. He's a writer, and so he writes the mysteries and he does all that. So, I mean, there's only one person on the creative end of it. So I can't, you know, I'm disappointed because, you know, I love these boxes. I love doing 4 or 5 puzzles at a time. So I was a little disappointed, but I wasn't disappointed altogether with the box. I mean, you know, it was still a good read. It was still a good little mystery. So yeah, So I would still give the box a try. Like, I really do love this. I love this company. I cannot say enough good things about them, really, seriously. I mean, they do a lot of work into their stories and the boxes. And so, you know, it's just, the puzzles were light this month. I'm not going to lie. They were light. They were light, little disappointing. So, but I've got confidence. Next month, they'll be right back being hard. And they were hard puzzles, though. This one, not so much, but that Caesar box thing, only because I'd never seen that before. And so when he gives us new puzzles like that, it kind of throws you, because you're like, what is this? What? So, yeah. So, if I ever see it again, then I'll know how to do it. So, alright, y'all. Well, I hope this review helped you decide if you want to do the boxes. Again, I highly suggest them. I really do. Even though the box was a little light this month on puzzles, I really do love this company. I really, really do. I hope I'm stressing that enough. That I think it is money well spent on the boxes. So yeah, so give them a try. If you love mysteries, you've got to love mysteries though. And like I've said in my other reviews, you've also got to like it like a Agatha Christie kind of vibe, where you might not get all the clues, and then at the end there's something in there that only the author knew to like make it make sense, if that makes any sense. But that's only happened in a couple of the things that of the boxes that I've done. So it's not like a major thing to me. I just consider it to be like an Agatha Christie novel, you know, which I love, 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 love Agatha Christie. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so yeah. So I definitely would give it a go. So give them a try if you like. It is kindly expensive. It's like $35. It's $30 for the box, and then you have to pay for the shipping. So in the end, it's like $34.98 a month. So, so give it a try if you'd like. If you've got the money to do it, I do suggest them. I really, really do, because the writing is superb. The writing is what's out of this world. It's really good. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Give it a try, and y'all be good to one another, and I will talk to you later. Bye.